Paul McCartney revealed he collapsed and could not breathe while working on a music album, which left him fearing he might be dying. The iconic Beatles star was recording Band on the Run, his third studio album with Wings, and his fifth album after leaving the Beatles in April 1970 in Nigeria when the incident happened. He said he decided to go outside for a breath of fresh air as it seemed stuffy in the studio. But once outside, the air appeared even more foul than in. Eventually, the album, which was also his final one on Apple Records, was released at the end of 1973 and remains the most celebrated of his post-Beatles works, selling over 1 million copies. Recalling details of the incident, Paul previously shared, according to Beatles Bible, "It seemed stuffy in the studio, so I went outside for a breath of fresh air. If anything, the air was more foul outside than in. It was then that I began to feel really terrible and had a pain across the right side of my chest, and I collapsed. I could not breathe, and so I collapsed and fainted. Linda thought I had died." He added, "The doctor seemed to treat it pretty lightly and said it could be bronchial because I had been smoking too much, but this was me in hell. I stayed in bed for a few days, thinking I was dying. It was one of the most frightening periods in my life. The climate, the tensions of making a record which had just got to succeed and being in this totally uncivilized part of the world finally got to me." Paul's health issues weren't the only problem he faced while in Nigeria, as before collapsing, he and his wife were mugged at knife point while on their way to Denny Lane's home. During the robbery, demo tapes of songs were stolen, meaning Paul later had to remember the words and music by heart. After we had been in Lagos a couple of weeks, we were held up and robbed at knife point. Linda and I had set off like a couple of tourists, loaded with tapes and cameras, to walk to Denny's house, which was about 20 minutes down the road. A car pulls up beside us and goes a little bit ahead, he said. Paul revealed he and Linda were left shaking after the robbery and had a lot of trouble sleeping that night. He also said he didn't report the incident to the police as he was told no action would be taken. But despite the incident, he knew he had to carry on and make the record, which added even more pressure to his work, the musician shared.